Hey guys, it's the Anon Mouse. Last time we talked about how the story of Dulcarnain was a line-by-line copy of the Syriac legend of Alexander the Great. Today we'll be talking about another work in the Quran that is also pure plagiarism, the story of the Seven Sleepers. The Seven Sleepers of Ephesus was a Christian legend dating back from the 5th century, which tells the story of Christian youths being persecuted by the pagan Roman Emperor Decius in the 3rd century. The youths seek shelter in a cave, fall asleep for over 200 years, and then venture out only to find that the empire was now Christian. Their faith confirmed, the youths then die and are embraced by the Lord. You will no doubt see striking parallels when we read the stories. Again, a lot of this material is from wikiislam.net. I really recommend that you guys see them. They're great. The Christian story of the Seven Sleepers of Ephesus begins like this. The seven sleepers were born in the city of Ephesus, and when Decius the emperor came into Ephesus for the persecution of Christian men, he commanded to the city to edify the temples in the middle of the city, so that all should come with him to do sacrifice to the idols, and do seek all the Christian people, and bind them for to make them to do the sacrifice, or else to put them to death. In so wise that every man was afeared of the pains that he promised, that the friend forsook the friend, and the son denied the father, and the father the son. Now, the Quran's version is a little different in the beginning, but as we will go forward in the story, it's the exact same. Quran, Surah 18, Ayah 10 goes, "Behold, the youths betook themselves to the cave. They said, Our Lord, bestow on us mercy from thyself and dispose of our affairs for us in the right way." In Ayah 16, it says, "When ye turn away from them and the things they worship other than Allah, betake yourselves to the cave. Your Lord will shower his mercies on you and dispose of your affair towards comfort and ease." In the Christian legend, the youths are captured and brought before the emperor for not worshiping the idols. Then the emperor says, thought what he should do about them, and as our Lord would, he enclosed the mouth of the cave, wherein they were with stones, to the end that they should die therein for hunger and fault of meal. Then the ministers and the two Christian men, Theodorus and Rufinus, wrote their martyrdom and laid it steadily among the stones. Then the next paragraph, there's a flash forward into the far future, after which the writings are discovered, and it goes, "And Malchus entered first into the cave to his fellows, and the bishop next after him. And there found they, among the stones, the letters sealed with the 2 seals of silver. And then the bishop called them, that they were come thither, and read them thereto for them all, so that they that heard it were all abashed and marveled." Now, we're going to read the Quran version and see how there's some similarities. Quran, Ayah 10, "Behold, the youths betook themselves to the cave. They said, Our Lord, bestow on us mercy from thyself, and dispose of our affairs for us in the right way." Ayah 9, the previous ayah says, and the beginning of the story of the sleepers says, "Or dost thou reflect on the companions of the cave, and of the inscription were the wonders among our signs?" Now, notice how in both stories the people were put in the cave. One in the Quran version purposefully, and in the Christian version forcefully, that they were hiding from people who were committing pagan practices, as we noticed in the previous slide. Notice that there's also that this starts with some reference to the writings designating what happened, and that those were the signs from God. The Christian legend goes, "It is in doubt of that which is said that they slept 300 years and 62 years. For they were raised the year of our Lord 478, and Decius reigned but 1 year and 3 months, and that was in the year of our Lord 270. And so they slept but 208 years. Now we'll go to the Quran version, Surah 18, Ayah 11. "Then we draw a veil over their ears for a number of years in the cave, so that they hear not. Then we rouse them in order to test which of the two parties was best at calculating the term of years that they had tarried." Both passages talks about the confusion regarding the timing of their sleep. The Christian story has a part that says, "And when they had taken their reflection and sat in weeping and wailing, suddenly, as God would, they slept. And when it came on the morn that they were sought and could not be found, wherefore Decius was sorrowful because he had lost such young men." The Quran story goes, We relate to thee their story in truth. They were youths who believed in their Lord, and we advanced them in guidance. We gave strength to their hearts. Behold, they stood up and said, Our Lord is Lord of heavens and of the earth. Never shall we call upon any God other than him. If we did, we should have indeed uttered an enormity. Notice that in both stories, the cave people are youths. The similarities of the stories continue to abound. First, that they're put in a cave. First off, that's not very common. Second off, that there's inscriptions that are found. And third off, that they're all youths. Very interesting. In the Christian legend, it says, And then these holy saints that were within awoke, and raised and intersolute each other, and supposed verily that they had slept but one night only, and remembered of the heaviness that they had the day before. The quranic version goes, And in like manner we awakened them, that they might question one another. A speaker from among them said, How long have ye tarried? They said, We have tarried a day or some part of a day. Others said, Your Lord best knoweth what ye have tarried. Notice that in both stories, the sleepers think that they've been asleep only a short while, possibly even a day. However, even though in both stories they had been sleeping for well over 100 years. The Christian story says, He commanded to Malchus to go and buy bread in the city, and bade him bring more than he did yesterday, and also to inquire and demand what the emperor had commanded to do. And then Malchus took 5 shillings and issued out of the cave. And when he saw the masons and the stones before the cave, he began to bless him, as was marveled. The Quran story says, Now send one of you with your silver coins into the city, and let him see what food is purest there, and bring you a supply thereof. Let him be courteous, and let no man know of you. Notice in both stories that right after they wake up, they decide to go get food. The Christian legend goes, And when Malchus saw them talking together, he doubted not that they would lead him to the emperor, and was sore afraid, and prayed them to let him go, and keep both money and bread. But they held him, and said to him, Of whence art thou? For thou hast found treasures of old emperors. Show it to us, and we shall be fellows of thee, and keep it secret. The Quran version says, For if they should come upon you, they would stone you or force you to return to their cult. And in that case, you would never attain prosperity. Notice that in both stories, they go out to buy some food, but are terrified of being caught and punished, and possibly returned to the imperial pagan cult. The end of the Christian legend has a portion that goes, And as soon as the blessed saints of our Lord saw the emperor come, their visages shone like to the sun. And the emperor entered then, and glorified our Lord, and embraced them, weeping upon each of them, and said, I see you now, like I should see our Lord raising Lazarus. And then Maximian said to him, Believe us, for soon our Lord hath raised us to for the day of the great resurrection, and to the end of thou believe firmly the resurrection of the dead people. Verily, we will be raised as you have seen, and live. The Quran version says, Thus we did make their case known to the people, that they may know the promise of Allah is true, and that there can be no doubt about the hour of judgment. Notice that even the reasoning for the stories is the same. The Christian legend, the youths then die, and then this portion happens. And then he commanded to make precious sepulchres of gold and silver, and to bury their bodies therein. And in the same night they appeared to the emperor, and said to him that he should suffer them to lie on the earth, like as they that had laid therefore till that time that our Lord had raised them, unto the time that they should rise again. Then commanded the emperor that the place should be adorned nobly and richly with precious stones, and all the bishops that would confess the resurrection should be assoiled. Behold, and the Quran version says, Behold, they dispute among themselves as to their affair. Some say, Construct a building over them. Their Lord knows best about them. Those who prevail over their affair said, Let us surely build a place of worship over them. Notice that in both stories, the locations of the events is turned into a holy site. In the Christian legend, it is clearly stated that the 7 sleepers were born in the city of Ephesus. Emphasis on 7. Now in the Quranic version, it says, Some say that there were 3, the dog being the 4th among them. Others say that there were 5, the dog being the 6th. Doubtfully guessing at the unknown. Yet others say that there were 7, the dog being the 8th. Say thou, the Lord knoweth best their number. It is but few that know their real case. Enter not, therefore, into controversies concerning them, except on a matter that is clear, nor consult any of them about the affair of the sleepers. Similarities are insane at this point. There's nothing else to say. In the Christian version, it says, so they slept between 208 years. In the Quran version, it says, so they stayed in their cave 300 years, and some add 9 more. Although the numbers are different, they're similar in that they represent times that are far beyond the average human lifespan and span over an age. We have to keep asking ourselves over and over again, why is everything the same? If the Quran is the word of a God dictated to a person, why is so much of it a line-by-line plagiarism of earlier legends of other ethnic groups that aren't even real or historical facts? If these were things that actually happened, then maybe we could say it's true. But every time it's legends or incorrect science. Why is it that the more we look into this book, the more we see that it looks like a motley array of previous works with only the names changed for a thin veneer of Islamization? Why is it constantly like this?